Hello and welcome back to Let's Play ZAGS. I hope to be able to end it this episode. I'm not sure if I can though. Let's just try. I wake up early Sunday morning, feeling rather content. Things are going well right now, I guess. Except for the part where I haven't come out at the house, but I'm not living here next year anyway, so maybe it doesn't matter. An early morning swim seems like it could be nice, but bed is also pretty nice. Well, because I usually wouldn't recommend it, but with an empty stomach, but here it's no problem. I shower and I'm walking back to my room when I spot Tom and Eva walking across campus. Good morning! Hey, you're up early. I dragged Tom out to breakfast this morning. That's nice. I just finished up a swim, so I'm heading back to the house for some food. It's still too early, babe. Well, you can go back to sleep if you really want. Let's just go see this movie. Sure. We'll see you later, bro. I head back to the house for some breakfast with some brothers, and Steve sits at our table and talks a bit about parents' weekend with us. By the time I get away again, it's about time for lunch. I grab a sandwich instead, wanting to avoid continued conversation with Steve and sit outside to eat it. Hannah and Nicole pass by me, walking toward the student center together. Hey man. Hey. Board games, I assume? Yep, want to join us? Sure. We head to the atrium together. Jake and Chris are sitting at a table talking. Hey, sorry we're late. You're not at all. Chris just got here. He pulls some games out of the bag. What do you want to play? We decide on Settlers and Jake sets it up. Anyone else excited for next weekend? Yeah. It'll be nice to see my parents again. My sister's making it out too. I'm really excited. Why do you think they do Parents' Weekend so close to the end of the semester anyway? It seems they should do it earlier. Right, this is your first year. The university sets up a bunch of outdoor tents and stuff for the weekend and just leaves them up for graduation afterward. I guess it's more efficient for the university, even though you're right that it's less ideal for the parents. Oh, that makes sense. They had the tents at orientation, but took them down pretty quickly afterward. Plus, they don't want parents coming around when it's cold and snowy. It was a little earlier than usual this year, but they aim for late in April to make sure they get warm weather. My mom is coming, but my dad couldn't make it out. I think it'd be weird to introduce him to Nate, since I haven't. I'm sure Nate would be happy to find things to do next weekend. You should ask him if that would make things easier. It probably would, but I feel bad about it. Oh, my mom will want to meet Carlos and will probably incessantly ask about him. Is that going to make things weird? I don't know. I don't really know how they'd react if I ever told them. You don't have to tell them until you're ready, and that is very, very, very important. But what if I'm never ready? Jake, I know you'll be ready one day, and if not, that would not be a problem. It's your life and your decisions, and all of us will be right there with you when you are. I hope so. And thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to make this about me. You do never make something about you, and even if it would be the case, that would not be a problem. It's fine, man. Let us know if we can do anything to help. Okay, but let's just play for now. I spent the rest of the afternoon playing board games with the group. After having dinner with them at a buffet, I head back to the house and my room. Monday again. And study Wednesday afternoons before games. So I'll change that to study with Jake. That is not an option because we already have a Chris hookup. I'll save it as default, although I don't know how many weeks will still come. I don't know if some of them still come. And we're studying together. I hadn't been to the second floor before, but the tutoring area is easy enough to find with a sign by the stair pointing the way. Jake, Nikhil, Hannah and Chris are set up at a table near the tutoring area. Oh, hi Carlos. Chris grabs another chair for me and pulls it to that table. Sorry, we didn't know if you were coming or not. Hello. A man who looks somewhat familiar walks over to our table as I sit down. It's good to see you again, Jake. How were board games? Oh, they were fine. You should join us next time. Yes, I keep not having the time, but I'll make it one of these days. Jake just nods. You know, I looked up Ispahan when you were talking about it, and it seems like a game I should get for my boyfriend. Oh, you you have a boyfriend? Yes, is that a problem? Hannah starts laughing. Oh no, sorry, we'd been assuming you were hitting on Jake. Oh, I'm sorry for any misunderstanding. This actually isn't the first time this has happened. I'd been told I'm sometimes a little too friendly. A friend says I should just get a shirt that says I'm gay and taken. Not that you're not a cutie, Jake. Jake just nods. The man looks at him and smiles. Speaking of cuties, I don't think we've met. I'm Mark. Oh, I'm Carlos. It's very nice to meet you, Carlos. I'm about to ask if we've met before when someone else calls Mark's name from the tutoring area. Sounds like I'm needed, but if you need any help with any calculus or physics again, just wave me over. The rest of the time is uneventful and I managed to get some work done. And it's Friday again. I meet up with Chris, Jake, Nicole and Hannah after classes on Friday. Hi, I think my mom just got to her hotel, so she should be here soon. Okay, I'm actually really nervous. First time meeting the parents. Are you okay, Jake? Yeah, he's just nervous about Nate. I thought you and Nate were spending the weekend apart. They are, but he's worried something will slip, especially with you and Chris's mom. Dude, do you need me to meet Chris's mom and then find something else to do? No, that's not fair. He sighs. I always thought it was nice that Chris and I were both into guys, but I'm worried now it's going to be a problem. You could just come out to them, man. No, it's not that easy. Nick Hill. Sorry, it's fine, I'll be fine. It's not too late for us to do things on our own with our parents, Jake, especially since yours won't get here until tomorrow. No, it'll be nice to meet your parents and sister, and Chris's mom, and introduce everyone to my parents. Okay, I'm supposed to meet here in the atrium. We can get dinner afterward and see what we feel like after that. That sounds like a plan. The rest of the evening is a blur of food and conversation, and it's late by the time Chris convinces her to go back to her hotel to sleep. That was really nice. She really likes you. I'm glad. She's rather intense, but friendly. Well, we should probably go to bed as well. We're having breakfast with Adam and Carlos tomorrow morning, so I'll try to see all of you around lunchtime. That sounds good. My family should be there by then. I think they want to go around to some of the informational tents that are set up anyway. I'll see all of you tomorrow then. Anyone else heads out and Chris smiles at me. Going to make another screenshot here. I don't think that's worked, but let's just continue. Everyone else heads out and Chris smiles at me. I hope that wasn't too overwhelming for you. My mom can be a lot. She's very talkative, but it was nice. I'm glad she seemed so accepting of us. I'm trying to think if having you around when we meet Jake's parents or not would make her more likely to say something that would cause a problem. I can find an excuse to leave after breakfast if you want, but then she might talk about how sad it is that you couldn't be at lunch. She doesn't know Jake is gay, right? No. So I can't ask her not to mention it or anything. Honestly, even if she did know and I could ask her, she often says things before really thinking about them. Well, it sounds like it might be the best if I just stick around. Yeah. As long as you don't mind spending more time with her tomorrow. Not at all. See you tomorrow, dude. I walk him back to his building, kissing him outside the door before I head back to my room. I lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, feeling generally content. Actually a big relief to have met Chris's mom. Saturday, April the 21st, I wake up early Saturday morning, lying in bed and feeling like there was something I was supposed to do. Oh right, I'm having breakfast with Chris and his mom and Adam. Fortunately, it doesn't look like I'm late yet. I knock on the door to their room and wait for a bit, but it doesn't open. I'm not late, am I? I knock again, but there's no answer. I must have misremembered the time. Maybe they're at breakfast. I checked the yard. It's extremely crowded, but I don't see any sign of Chris, Adam, or Chris's mum. I head back to the house, wondering if I somehow managed to sleep through the entirety of Saturday, when I spot Adam heading the same direction. Chico, I thought I was going crazy. Is everything okay, dude? Yeah, just, I was coming to find you. Dude, is Chris okay? Yeah, he's fine. His mum apparently tripped this morning, going down the stairs at the hotel and knocked herself unconscious. Oh shit. She's okay now. Chris is at the hospital. I didn't realize how late it had gotten, so I came to find you. Dude. She's conscious again. Got some tests done, no problems as far as anyone can tell. Just kind of a nasty fall and some scrapes and bruises. That's good at least. Anyway, I know you don't like the hospital, so we can grab breakfast or something without them, I guess. Dude, no way, let's go see them. Chris is sitting in a chair in the hallway in front of the room. He stands when we approach. Dude. He walks over to me, and I take his hand in mine and squeeze it. Dude, are you okay? Is she okay? Yeah, she's fine. Actually, she keeps saying she's fine and she wants to leave, and she's missing breakfast with you. I had to sit in the hallway for a bit to collect my thoughts. That's good at least, right? Yeah. I can hear her voice from inside the room asking if it's me. Chris shakes his head, but he's smiling now. You didn't have to come. I know you've had some bad experiences in hospitals. I just wanted to make sure you weren't waiting for us. Dude, you're crazy if you think I'm not going to come make sure she's okay. And you're okay? I'm okay. She's okay, but they meant to keep her for a bit, just to observe. Well, that means no breakfast. The hospital has a cafeteria, right? We can get pancakes and stuff here and eat with her. I think she'd like that, if you're sure. Come on, Chico. Let's go get some food for everyone. We bring back styrofoam containers of pancakes, French toast, sausage and eggs, and have a surprisingly nice breakfast with Chris and his mom in the hospital room. We stay with her until the doctors release her, telling her to take it easy the rest of the day. Chris seems to use it as an excuse to skip the meetup with Jake and Hannah's families. Instead, we take her back to the hotel and spend the rest of the afternoon chatting. After a nice dinner at the hotel restaurant, I head back to my room. I sit at my computer. Need to look here. I've thrown my bottle, but luckily nothing had happened. Hey, it's parents' weekend. Oh, that's right. It's making me miss mine. You spent winter break at Adam's house, right? Yeah. Well, I'm honestly a bit jealous. So it's been a while. Because mine won't leave me alone. They're just worried about you. I know. But they're treating me like I'm a child, driving me everywhere, not wanting me to go places by myself. I haven't had a seizure in a while. The new meds seem to be working. That's good at least. Sorry. Didn't mean to make this about me. All of you. You do matter, and it's interesting and necessary to talk about you. No, it's fine, dude. My parents have always been more hands-off, but that would really get to me too. Yeah, if they were suddenly always worrying over me. Only a few more weeks until you get to go home, right? Yeah. I miss my mom's cooking and plantains. They don't really have plantains here. So how was parents' weekend? You said Chris's mom was coming? Yeah. Oh, you haven't heard what happened? We talk for the rest of the evening. And it's Sunday. I wake up somewhat early Sunday morning and I head downstairs for a quick breakfast before checking on Chris and his mom. Tom's sitting at a table. He noticed me and waves me over. Hey dude, we've missed you yesterday, bro. Tried to find for breakfast and lunch. Oh yeah, sorry, there was an issue. Are you available for lunch today? Yeah, should I find you around here? Tom nods and slaps my back. Thanks, bro, and remember, no, I'm not even sure. Shit. I let her come inside and grab a bagel before heading to Chris and Adam's room. I knock on the door and Chris quickly opens it. Morning, dude. How's your mum doing? She's doing fine. She wanted to have breakfast with everyone's parents this morning before her flight this afternoon. That's good. Did someone make a reservation? No. I told her we probably couldn't get such a large group in somewhere, but maybe we could check out the university's breakfast tent and eat on the grass. grass. Oh, that sounds nice. Adam and I need to get dressed. Give us a few minutes. They get dressed and we check out the breakfast stand, which ends up having a selection of free breakfast sandwiches. We meet up with Jake, Hannah, Nicole and their families and sit together on the grass. I'll take a picture here because I'll have the whole group here. It's a loud but pleasant time. Chris's mom gushes about how I spent my entire day yesterday caring for her, and Jake seems a little on edge the entire time. Fortunately, his parents don't seem to comment on it, and Hannah manages to turn the conversation to safer topics. After breakfast, Jake and Hannah head off with their families for a tour of the computer science department. I guess I'll take my mom back to her hotel and help her pack. We'll see you later, dude. After a rather long goodbye, they head back toward the hotel. That went well. Yeah, I'm glad she seems to approve of me. Adam throws an arm over my shoulder and ruffles my hair. Dude, that's an understatement. I think she really appreciated you spending the day with them yesterday. Well, I didn't really have anything else to do. Don't sell yourself short, dude. You could have gone swimming or running, I guess. Not to change the subject, but today's your birthday, right? It is. Well then, happy birthday, dude. I'm surprised you remembered, Chico. He shrugs. What about you? Just not feeling it this year? Normally you make a bigger deal of it than this. I've just had other things on my mind, I guess. Also Chris's mum and all. That's fair. But thanks, dude. I was going to suggest some studying, but we should do something you'd like to celebrate. Also, we just ate, so I'm not sure a run is a good idea. Well, swimming is not a good idea either, so I guess I'll spend the birthday studying with him. Actually, well, just why not? Really, finals are coming up, right? Well, if you're serious, maybe bring your textbooks this time. I spent the rest of the morning studying with Adam and head back to the house afterwards to find Tom. I find Tom and his parents in the common room, talking and watching some brothers play a game. Hey bro! Tom introduces everyone and we head to the yard. Despite it being fairly early for lunch, the restaurant is already full. We could go somewhere else. We already ate here yesterday. Back to see what chefs prepared? Sure, perks of the house, right? Oh, I've tried pineapple jalapeno pizza. I had a local pizza restaurant made them especially for me because they usually don't offer something like that, and it was like, it's not as bad as I expected it to be. It's actually quite tasty, but they did like a tower of jalapenos. You don't see a lot of yellow in the pizza, and that was a bit much then, but normally that actually might not be a bad idea, at least for me. So just try it. I honestly just tried it because I've seen it in ZAGS and I said, well, why not try it? Lunch ends up being fried chicken, mac and cheese and coleslaw, and it's delicious as always. One more sentence here. I didn't make it myself because when I make pizza and I would like use I don't use jalapenos and I don't use pineapple in my normal life, or not really. So I would, when I would have made it myself, which I usually try to do as much as by myself as I can, I would have ingredients that I don't use otherwise, so I would just waste them, and I didn't want to do that, in case you're wondering. But now let's continue here. I have a good conversation with Tom's parents about the non-academic parts of college. Soon they excuse themselves to head to the airport and Tom heads out with them. I consider what to do with my afternoon, and today we're just going for a swim because just why not? So we'll again do default all and execute, and the week goes by quickly, which is good, of course. And we have the 27th of April. I head out to find Chris Friday after classes. Hey, date night? Yeah. Have a nice time, you two. Jake, Hannah and Nicole head off toward the student center. Let's go somewhere that isn't a yard. Sure, anything you want, dude. We wander a bit off campus and we find a small Thai restaurant and have dinner there before heading to the computer lab to play a computer game together. What's a class registration like? Didn't you already do this last semester? We did, but most of the classes were reserved for us, or were the general classes that are always open. Oh, that's right. Freshmen all take basically the same classes. This is the first time I'm going to be competing with upperclassmen for classes. Are you looking at taking anything particularly unusual for a sophomore? I don't think so. Then you should be fine, but I usually make a couple of different schedules in case some of the classes I wanted are filled up. Yeah, I've been doing that, but I'm still worried. Dude, you pay the university to take classes and get a degree. They're not going to not let you register to your classes. By that logic, they should want to keep you here as long as possible by not letting you register enough classes to graduate. But then the parents would stop paying the bills. That's a good point. The university likes happy parents, like last weekend. Yeah, they had a lot of stuff for the parents last weekend. I'm really glad my mum got to meet you. I'm glad she's okay with us, dude, and she seems like a pretty great mom. We spent the rest of the evening playing games together. Saturday, I wake up early to a knock on my door. Chris is standing there, looking a little apologetic. Sorry, good morning. Sorry if I woke you up. It's fine, dude. Is everything okay? Yeah, James invited us over for breakfast this morning before the Q&A meeting and I thought you might be interested. Dude, that sounds great. It's been a while. Yeah, let me get dressed and we can go. James has breakfast ready when we arrive and we sit down to a bunch of cinnamon rolls, sausage and orange juice. Dude, you didn't have to go through all of this trouble for us. From a can and frozen sausage. No trouble. Well, you should let us take you out for breakfast sometime. Like to celebrate the I'm sorry. I apologize. Like to celebrate the closing of your show or the end of the year or something. Show closes tomorrow. Then breakfast tomorrow. The yard? Okay. Thank you. We finish eating and James grabs his bag. Q&A time. See you tomorrow. Sounds good. Thanks for breakfast today. Sorry couldn't stay longer. We head out and Chris convinces me to do some studying with him. Adam gets us sandwiches around lunchtime. Thanks, Chico. Any plans for this afternoon? There are board games if you're interested. Today I'll prefer to go swimming, but you're welcome to join. Oh, maybe next time. I had hoped that Adam comes with us because I don't want to ditch Adam every time, but apparently not. I spent the afternoon at the pool. After dinner at the house, I head up to my room. I sit at my computer. Good evening. Hey, classes are almost over. I bet you're relieved. Yeah, it'll be nice to be done. It's weird, but I'm actually missing classes. Maybe it's just that I'm missing having something to do. That makes sense, dude. And I'm missing all of you, especially you and Steve. The house isn't the same without you. Steve says Ben is probably taking over next year. We miss you too, dude. That should have been me. You would have been great, dude. Mostly I feel bad that it's one more thing Steve had to worry about this year. We talk until Elliot has to go to bed, so now that's difficult. Not really, but just mixed it up. It's late and I'll need to do a bunch of work before tomorrow still for university. As promised, Chris and I have breakfast with James at the yard on Sunday. Excited for the last show, dude? Kind of sad. Nice to be less busy, but we'll miss over the summer. I guess that's fair. There aren't any theatre groups or anything back home you can participate in? There are, I do, but it's not the same. Are they smaller groups or performances? Yes. Not always a real stage. Nice, but different. We finish eating, I grab the bill, and James grabs his bag. Thank you for breakfast. Thanks for always hosting us, dude. Not a problem. Should play Smash again, whenever you're free, dude. Next weekend should be good unless you need to study. I'm sure I'll need a break. Chris and I walk back to his room. I have an assignment that I want to finish up, but we can do something after lunch. I mean, I could do some studying. And what the fries were, he gets burgers, butter. I didn't feel a need to find out what that meant, but if you do, I think I'm fine with knowing, Chico. Actually, I'm kind of curious. Is it sticks of butter fried like French fries? That wouldn't work. Not really. Dude, that sounds disgusting. Well, normal fries with butter sauce on top, like popcorn. Or fries with pieces of butter on it. So, other than finding out about the butter fries, are you up to anything this afternoon? Well, we could play games in the computer lab. We can't go swimming the next few days because some people put color in the pool. Why, hello, Carlos. Hey, I was just looking for an empty lab to play some games in. Well, this one's empty except for me, so you made a good choice. I'll take a seat near him, studying for finals. In a manner of speaking, I'm writing my first complete lesson plan for a week of classes. That's only like 2 lectures or something, right? It's elementary school education, so it's actually 5 full days. Oh, that sounds significantly more difficult. We chat for a bit about finance and his lesson plans. Oh, have you checked out this logic puzzle game? Malik showed it to me a few days ago. Logic puzzle game? Yeah, it's called Over the Moon or something like that. It's a bunch of puzzles where you have to turn spaces blue or red based on different symbols. A lot of the fun is figuring out what each symbol does before the game throws more symbols at you. That sounds pretty interesting actually. Here, let me set it up for you. Logic games. Click on a space to turn it blue or red and figure out what each symbol means in terms of blue or red spaces. Click next to submit a guess. You can submit as many guesses as you like. I guess I understand it. Although I'm not so sure. That was pretty easy. It gets harder, keep going. I spent the rest of the evening playing the game while Mark works on his lesson plans. For an explanation, we need to rebuild the form with the color the original thing had. So we had the line diagonally from the top to the left. So we need to mark the top in the same blue and the left in the same blue. Afterward, after dinner at the house, I head to my room. Last week of classes, finally. So we will wow, go to the gym, and if I go to class, oh, it's even less. So I'll do replace swimming with go to the gym, because we just can't go swimming as Mike told us. The 4th of May. I meet up with Chris after classes on Friday. Hey, semester's over! Except for finals. We're all going to do a bit of studying tonight if you want to join us. It's Friday, you've got all weekend to study. Actually, James also invited us for dinner, Carlos, if you were interested. I should study. After a quick dinner at the buffet, we head to the library. How did classes registration go for everyone? I got all of my first choice classes somehow. Hannah, I don't think very many freshmen want to take Japanese or real analytics. I believe that's true. The peer pressure actually keeps me fairly on track. That's good to hear. And he wakes up early on Saturday, feels like a swim, but he remembers it's closed. And he goes for a run instead. I wake up, add him up, and manage to convince him to join me, and we go running together. Okay, this was nice and all, but I think I'm going to go back to bed now. Up late studying, Chico? Kind of. A review question got me thinking about cancer, and I looked up some stuff and got really into reading about this really promising new treatment for I throw an arm over his shoulder. That's just like you, dude. I guess it is. Anyway, I think you're on your own for breakfast, dude, but maybe I'll see you this afternoon. I shower afterward and grab a bagel from downstairs and sit at my desk to eat it. I could probably go see if Chris is awake now. He is, and he somehow convinced me to join him, Jake, Hannah, and Nikhil at the library to study. As we're walking across campus together, we spot a familiar face. Oh, hello. Hey! Quite nice to see you again, but I'm running late to the Q&A meeting this morning. Don't let us keep you, but I still owe you that movie. It's quite alright. No, are you free this afternoon? I am, yes. Okay, I'll come find you. Mike nods and heads toward the student center. Sorry, I just thought... No, dude, that's great. Would you mind me tagging along? Of course not. I'd feel better if you were there too, actually. We make it to the library and spend the rest of the morning studying together. We got lunch together in the dining hall afterward. I'm pleasantly surprised the food looks relatively normal. We help Jake carry his plates and find a table. We are joined by Nate a few minutes later. I know we still have another week to go, but I'm already starting to miss all of you. We can play board games online, but yeah, it won't be the same. It's not even just games. I'm going to miss studying with you and going to the game room for DDR and watching Jake eat too many plates of food. At least you'll get to see your sister again. Yeah, for a little bit, but then she's leaving for her internship in a couple of weeks. Chris takes my hand under the table and squeezes it. We all have to Skype or something. Nikhil changes the subject and the rest of the lunch goes by quickly. Board games? Actually, Carlos and I had plans already. Well, have fun you two. We find Mike at the Q&A and head to the theater together. Spider-Man 3? Dude, let's see that. I haven't seen the first two, but if that doesn't matter. It's just a typical superhero movie, some romance, some fighting, some more fighting. We buy our tickets and Mike gets a family-sized tub of buttered popcorn and we find seats. It's quite busy in here. I guess everyone's celebrating the end of classes this weekend. Some guy a couple rows in front of us shushes us. Geez, dude. Sorry we're distracting you from the slideshow with ads. The movie itself is pretty great and we walk out together. The film was quite hectic. Yeah, it really felt like they tried to do too much. 3 villains. Maybe that's where the 3 comes from, and it just meant there were more great action sequences. Did you enjoy the popcorn? Quite, thank you. I always enjoy buttered popcorn. You should try the nachos, dude. The fake cheese is even better than the fake butter. I'll have to keep that in mind. Well, thanks for joining us. Thank you for having me. It was quite enjoyable. I think James had wanted all of us to have dinner tonight if you're free. Ah, yes, he told me that as well. It would be quite nice if the two of you aren't too busy. I think we can make it work. We'll see you tonight then. Mike gets off and Chris starts walking toward the student center. That was nice. Yeah, feeling any better about things? I think so, still feeling jealous. A little, but it's something I'll just have to get over myself. Fair enough, dude. Let me know if you need to talk or anything. I will. I thought I'd see if there are still board games. That sounds fun, dude. I'll kind of skip that because I need at least in 6 minutes be finished. I think this is supposed to be for 2 people, but I guess they're swamped tonight. Of course, we sit next to Chris. Do we just all want to split something? Could get a salad, in addition to a pizza, right? Yes. Carlos usually gets pineapple and jalapeno, but I'm not sure you'd like that, James. I can get something else. I mean, it doesn't have to be pineapple jalapeno. We ordered an extra large sausage pizza and a salad. Long flight home? Oh yes, I have a 3-hour layover in LaGuardia. Yeah, I have a layover in Florida myself. I guess James and I are lucky that there are non-stop flights home from here. You're also not flying international. Do you normally go home over winter, Carlos? Yeah, it's a bit of a pain, but it gets me away from the snow for a few weeks, so it's worth it. I don't think so. That sounds quite nice. England is actually quite mild in the winter. I'm surprised. Seems like it would be colder there. It's thanks to the chat stream, and I'll skip that talk. I'll make sure to bring back some Smarties, Chris. I think you might like the aero bar too. Thanks. That did sound really interesting. You should go try our version of Smarties. I still think they taste like caulk. I'll have to give it a go. We made it to we make it to James Building. Thank you for walking. Maybe we'll see you next weekend before you leave. Yes. Right, you don't want to have to pick up all those things. Lucky dog. Good night. James heads into the building and the rest of us walks back toward campus. Do you have to clear out your room for the summer as well, Carlos? Well, would you have to if you were keeping the room? Yeah, I think you have to even if you're in regular campus housing and they're keeping the same room. The university uses some of them as housing for summer students. And I'll skip that. I'll take it you're going to spend the summer surfing and swimming. You know it. What's his summer plans? He thinks he's taking a class or two back here. Oh, sorry, I thought I told you that already. First step toward maybe coming back. I'm going to be applying to UNCG. UNCG, University of North Carolina, Greensboro. It's closer to home. This statement makes me somehow a lot sadder than it should. So it's final. Luckily, my credits will mostly transfer over. That I'm not coming back? It's been pretty final for a while. My parents aren't going to let me go to school anywhere far from here, but they still want me to finish my degree. I've been thinking of switching majors, but I'd have to see how behind that would put me. What to? Not sure yet, but writing seems like it's not impactful enough anymore somehow. I nearly died, so I feel like I should be doing something that makes a difference. You can make a difference by writing. You absolutely can. I'm glad you didn't die. The words feel so insignificant and insufficient. I'm glad too. Smiley. Neither of us says anything for a while, but classes at the community college for now, not UNCG, yet. To get back into things. My parents worry less about that. That makes sense. I'm sorry you don't get a time off though. Honestly, this semester has been time off. I know I'm still technically recovering and all, but I feel fine now and I've been itching to do anything. So it'll actually be nice to actually have something to do. Is that weird I miss classes? Yes. Typical Carlos. Maybe I just miss seeing people. Talk about this and that. We study with Chris and all of them. And we'll skip that. And we for first finish packing and I'll guess well I could hang out with both of them. I'll hope. We can't because they play board games, so I'll just skip that. Oh hey dude, I was just about to come find you. Well, here I am. I came by to see if you were busy. Not anymore. I finished laundry and most of my packing. Up for something, Chico? Let's just walk outside. It's really nice out. Other people must have the same idea, because there's a surprising number of students outside. It's been quite a semester for you, dude. It has. And you got a boyfriend? Yeah. Glad it's over? I'm always glad when the semester ends, Chico, but I'm going to miss you this summer. Uh-huh. I bet you won't miss my nagging for you to study all the time. Dude. Adam laughs and throws his arm around me, pulling me against his side. I know, I'll miss you too. If you are serious about your invitation, I'll have to make it down to see you sometime. Maybe not this year, but sometime before we graduate. Chico, you're always welcome anywhere I am. He ruffles my hair and he releases me. Okay. We continue walking for a bit. For some reason, I keep thinking over the past couple of days that it could be fun to end this semester with something big, but I haven't had any ideas of what that could be. But this you be walking feels kind of like of the perfect end. Is that weird? No, there's nothing else I'd rather be doing now. Oh, dude, you don't have to be up early, right? Your flight is in the afternoon? I think so. I like that you know my schedule better than I do. Then let's just wander for a bit, spend some quiet time together before we head out tomorrow. That sounds perfect, Chico. The following year, Chris and I walk with Adam to the bus stop. You sure you don't want me to cancel, dude? Stick around and watch you graduate? Chico, go home and have a nice summer and come visit us in San Francisco sometime. Okay. He ruffles my hair. Still can't believe you're graduating on time. Dude, just saying. You sure you didn't want me to cancel and stick around another year? Adam laughs. I'm pretty sure it's too late for that, dude. You're already done. You're just getting your diploma tomorrow. Well, at least you'll be relatively close by this summer. Come and see my apartment in the city and let's go hit up some fancy bars together, Chico. Will do, dude. The bus pulls up and Adam gives me a huge hug. Congrats, dude. I'm proud of you. I'll miss you. He shakes Chris's hand. You too, dude. Yeah. Don't miss your flight, Chico. Chris takes my hand and we watch Adam get on board and watch the bus drive off. I still can't believe you were able to talk your mom out of coming, dude. Should I not have? No, she just seems to have gotten really protective of me ever since. I shrug. Chris takes my hand again and squeezes it. I'm still really sorry your parents didn't take it well. Well, it wasn't unexpected and it still was anyway. They would love you. Chris blushes and we walk back towards his apartment. There aren't any graduation events tonight, right? I think the business department has a small event for parents this afternoon, if you want to pretend to be my dad. I'm not sure that would work. Besides, I think there's something we could do now that would be weird if I was your dad. Dude, please. And I'll just kind of skip that. I graduate in time somehow. Adam blames Chris's good work ethics. It's a bit sad to graduate before Adam, but we hang out a bit over the summer. I moved to San Francisco for a job at an hospital, working for its administrative department after graduation. I'm joined a year later by Adam, who managed to get into med school at UCSF, and a year after that by Chris, Jake, Hannah and Nikhil, who form a startup that actually does pretty well. Chris and I get married eventually, which allows me to gain citizenship, quit my job and become a personal trainer at a gym. Adam and I remain best friends even after I move in with Chris, and he finds a serious girlfriend who eventually becomes his wife. He eventually becomes a doctor and ensures he finds a permanent job in the Bay Area so we can stay close by to each other. Nate and Jake get engaged shortly before Nate graduates and manage to get married a few years later once California allows same-sex marriage again. James and Mike start dating in the fall. Chris seems a bit upset about it first, but he and Mike eventually became fairly good friends despite it. And I'll do a screenshot here because Mike has the hair done in a way that actually looks something. James and Mike end up breaking up after a few months, although they seem to remain close afterward. James eventually graduates and moves to Los Angeles after graduation, while Mike moves back to the UK and finds a job in IT support. Jake, Hannah, Nikhil and Chris move to San Francisco together after graduation and start what becomes a fairly successful startup. Nate moves from New York to California to join them after a year. Liz leads Q&A the following year until she hands it off to Mike. Liz and Liz have a small wedding ceremony around campus before they graduate and move to New York together for work. Then graduates and moves to New York, where he writes a book that becomes a bestseller. He uses his proceeds to buy a BDSM nightclub in the city. Liz and Mark manage to convince Malik to take a minor in photography and gift him a DSLR his senior year. Malik graduates on time and finds a job in Los Angeles. With his first paycheck, he goes out to eat on a nice restaurant and says it was the best meal of his life. Mark eventually graduates and becomes a grade school teacher. He and his long-term boyfriend eventually get married, and Malik tells me afterward that the wedding was perfect and exactly like he'd wanted for himself. Tom and Eva break up over the summer, and things are awkward for a bit in the fall, but they manage to remain decent friends. I'll take another screenshot here of Eva. Tom also becomes one of my strongest advocates when I do come out at the house the following year, but fortunately it's less of a big deal by then. Tom and Eva graduate together and end up getting jobs in the same city after graduation. Tom gets more moderate with his drinking, and we hit up a bar together when I visit him after graduation and have a pretty good time. Steve had a successful student teaching internship and eventually becomes a band teacher back in Canada. We keep in touch sporadically, and he tells me later that the way he handled my coming out was a great lesson in what not to do when one of his students confided in him. Elliot and I keep in touch through email. He eventually graduates from a university closer to home and moves to New York City to work for GLAAD. His parents come around eventually and I visit him and we have lunch together. We avoid the topic of us, and as much as I want to bring it up, I let it rest, feeling that some things were better left alone. And I guess that's the story of my college experience. It was a pretty good one, all things considered. Many thanks for staying with me and looking at the game. I'm sorry I need to cut off here. I'm already 6 minutes actually over my scheduled time, and I need to do a lot of work before tomorrow. So I'll need to do a night shift and I don't want to expand it any longer. Many thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a wonderful day.